Welcome to Mad Sports.
That's my line, bro. Look,
he
you
fell
win,
asleep
you
on the
win
set.
one little game, and now you are welcome to. You know what? You've been off a week, come back, and now it's welcome to Mad Sports. Look, this
well
look,
rested
it's
from
host
tours.
and co-host, not co-host and host. It never works like it's Abbott and Costello, not Costello and Abbott. How about that?
Our
for a
young
reference?
audience doesn't have a clue who you're talking about.
Well, good. It's Drake and the rest of the guys. Cash Money. How about that? Look here, Nicki Minaj. This is our show. I'll give you that. It's our show. Welcome to Mad Sports. We're a little off this week because the Cowboys came back from a bye week and they somehow squeaked out a victory.
No
I know everybody's
squeaking.
Squeaking, yeah, more
You
like
failed math class?
No,
37-18?
against the Giants.
I don't care. It's still not a
I
squeak.
almost brought you some brake pads so you could pump the brakes on your team a little bit.
I see you got the table set all wrong. It ain't basketball.
It is basketball. Yeah, get the oldest living football. That football was on the.
That's from back in before the forward pass was legal in the NFL.
I'm glad you got your bargain basement yard sale, estate sale cookie jar up here from the
Like
original.
I've told you before, this is all from the glory days of the Cowboys back in
The glory-
94, 95.
Glory holes.
We'll get new stuff when they win the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, I bet.
We'll have a whole new set.
Yeah.
In fact, everything's going to be Cowboys when that
Next,
happens.
you're gonna pull out some baseball cards. Like that's about as relevant as that cookie jar is.
Oh, I do have my card
I
collection.
bet you do have a card
That's
collection.
a good idea.
Jeez. You beat
Think
the
I get-
Giants.
A win's a win.
Yeah, thankfully, because y'all.
Championship teams win the games they're supposed to win.
Well,
And
what
we
happened
won
against the Jets
game.
then? Oh yeah, we're not supposed to be living in the
It's-
past.
yeah,
Super
we're-
Bowl. So look, I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of credit again, but I don't have my little hat with me. You won 37-18. I'm sure y'all are glad about that. But what's up with this second half action? Y'all have to get off the Cabo bus first, or is this a ploy to get more money out of Jerry Jones or something?
Yeah, it's just to keep the audience tuned in.
They're
If we
gonna
ran
tune
away
in.
within the first half. Nobody watched the second half.
That's not true because everybody hates or loves the Cowboys, one or the other. Their ratings. We talked about that in your little
We
rant
did.
that one day. I don't mean to say little. It's a big rant. You're a big guy. I get it.
No, that was Thor.
Yeah.
I'm back.
He has better.
Minus the muscles.
He has better hair than you.
Fabio.
Fabio / Thor. Smash Sports. It's going to be a long episode because when we
It's
come
good.
back, we got to talk about the stats of the Cowboys game. But I have some wonderful stats. So if you don't like the Cowboys, make sure you come back. It's Mad Sports. It's me. It's this guy. You know the names. You know the faces. Tune in. We're back. Mad Sports. David Hicks.
Richard, Dallas Cowboys, James.
Jerry Jones in his dang.
Just-
All right.
Just happy we have a victory, so I have to watch
Jerry
you walk
Jones,
in here.
James. That's-
Watch you walk in here on stilts like the Jolly Green Giant.
Fee fi fo fumming it, more like fee fi fo ho hum.
Yeah,
The
but
Giants.
the Giants didn't play like Giants.
No,
So
they
let's hear
didn't.
how they did.
Okay, first of all, you can't just keep going in the red zone and kick field goals and beat anybody in the NFL
Especially
this
when you
year.
intercept the first pass of the game.
Unless it's pouring down rain and you're in a Washington Redskins game. Other than that, you cannot win games. I don't care who you are. The one bright spot from the Giants before we get into your Cowboys, Daniel Jones, for a rookie quarterback, looks like he could be something down the road.
Right, with no line right now to protect them.
Is it just me or, I'm old. I get it. Not near as old as you. But, what happened to the days of the quarterback sitting a few years? It's just
They don't do it anymore.
In the last 5-6 years, rookie quarterbacks got to come out and ball.
The NFL
immediately.
game has started to mirror the college game, so now the quarterbacks make a quicker transition
It's
into
like-
their slots.
Like true freshmen.
Exactly. With
They're in the
wide
game
open
immediately.
offenses and the change in the rules. It's
And very rarely do you see a rookie quarterback come in there and just shine. And
Patrick Mahomes.
Prescott did when he first came in,
Prescott,
and
yeah.
then he had that sophomore slump. It's like
I think a lot of times when they first step in, no one has film on them, and they do pretty good. Then the teams have film on them, and they make the adjustments, and that's when you determine who's going to be a great quarterback and who's going to be an average.
Once again, Dallas comes out the gate pretty slow. That's not a good trend
That's
to
not an
have.
understatement. That's
Because
the truth.
they're not going to be able to hang with top teams like that. Dak was 22 for 35, 257 yards, 3 touchdowns, and interception. Zeke had 23 carries for 139 yards. He's finally starting to get a little rack up some
Averaging
yards.
6 yards a carry.
429 total yards to the Giants, 271 yards. I mean, let's face it. After the Black Cat came out, they were up 9-3, and then the Cowboys then outscored them 34-9, and
Yes.
the Black Cat had more rushing yards than the Giants. But let's pump the brakes a little bit, Cowboys fan. And I know you are a realist, but I'm going to give you the business a little bit. Let's pump the brakes. Yes, you have to beat the people on your schedule. But you've beaten the 2-7 Giants twice,
Yes.
the 1-8 Washington Redskins, the 1-7 Miami Dolphins.
We can't help who they put in our division.
Miami not in your division. You beat the Philadelphia Eagles, which is the only true so far winning team at 5-4, and that's very loosely. And then your losses have come to all the good teams.
Oh, yeah, the Jets are awesome.
Well, I would have left that out, but since you brought it up, Green Bay and the Saints, both
those are.
really good teams. So if you're a Cowboys fan, you're
But
looking
they were
at
in those games.
for
so.
sure. But if you're looking at the season so far, realistically, you're happy with the record, but not overall pleased with how they've played because they've only beaten the really trashy teams, which you're supposed
They
to.
haven't instilled
You're supposed
confidence yet in
Yeah.
what will happen. But the ensuing weeks are going to give us an indicator of how good they truly are.
On the other hand, the other Texas team, Houston, seems to be on an upward momentum shifter right now. 26-3 over Jacksonville. That was never a game, and it was played overseas,
Even without
which are
Watt.
hard games. They're now 6-3. Watson was 22 for 28 with one eye.
Watson's playing.
With one eye and a Popeye's chicken sandwich in his hand.
Definite
201
MVP
yards,
candidate.
2 touchdowns. Hey, and can we calm down with the racial thing? I already saw he should end up in my trash pile. I'm not even gonna give the man a name because I don't want to give him props. But another NFL player came out and said, "Oh well, he said Popeye's chicken is stereotypical for the black man." Bro, come on, man. Like Deshaun Watson can't say he likes a Popeye's chicken sandwich. Are
I
we
love
that?
chicken.
Are we that insensitive? My man can't say he likes chicken sandwich. Not everything has to be this whole culture now that we've gotten where everything is against something else. It's a little ridiculous. Like,
Hey,
come on, man.
It's a good rant too.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
That's all I'm
it's
saying.
truth.
My man said the Popeye's chicken sandwich helped his eye. He was making a joke. There is such thing as comedy still out there. Deshaun, I'm with you. I still haven't had the dang sandwich. They ought to end up on my trash pile because it came back and it's already sold out where we're at. Carlos Hyde had 19 attempts for 160 yards. They finally got a run game going.
Yes.
Minshew Mania, is it over?
I think it's over. I think Nick Foles is coming back and Minshew's.
And he's starting. They've already announced
yes.
it. He was 27 for 47. Once again, a rookie quarterback, and you got him throwing almost 50 times.
And again, started hot. Once they had tape on them, teams made adjustments, and look at what we have.
Watson is the first QB since 1950 to have 17-plus pass touchdowns and 5 rushing touchdowns in his first 9 games, and they held Jacksonville to 47 rushing yards. The Cat in the New York Giants game had more rushing yards than Jacksonville had the entire game. Speaking of teams that are on the upswing, the 49ers just keep on
Yeah, they've stayed. They're beyond upswing now.
28-25 over a horrible Arizona team. So
Doesn't
same
matter.
thing I got to say with Dallas, though. They're not beating anybody right now.
But they're
beating who's
undefeated.
on beating on who's our schedule. 28 for 37, 317 yards and 4 touchdowns from Garoppolo. Sanders had 7 receptions for 112
That
yards.
was a
and
great
touchdown.
addition for them.
The
That was-
49ers
yes.
look serious,
They do.
especially demolishing Carolina like they did last year, which Carolina's
Last week.
last week is a 5
felt like last year.
Man, I wish it was. Carolina's a 5-4 team, and
Yeah,
you
those
know,
are all the good teams, Cowboys.
I mean, pretty much.
Panthers,
All
5-4.
those teams.
A slew of them.
The Dolphins finally win in the Tank Bowl.
They're not going.
I called them. I
Completely
said they
defeated.
can't lose at all. 26-18 in the Tank Bowl over the Jets.
That bumped them to 29th in the power rankings. They're not on the bottom anymore.
Woo! Watch out
They have
now.
3 teams below them. All trash.
The Chiefs get a win with Matt Moore, one they desperately needed because Mahomes looks like he could be back soon.
he'll be back
26 over
Sunday.
23 over a good Bills team. Kirk Cousins still playing a little bit. Still
Earning
playing.
that contract.
Still playing.
Making doubters believers.
New England drops their first one.
Yes. Now, just what you say about the Cowboys?
Same
Who has New
thing.
England played this year?
Nobody. And when they finally play a good team, they get a loss. They've kind of played okay, and that defense didn't look near as good.
No.
Lamar Jackson, Mr. MVP candidate, front runner right now, to me, came out balling.
But on that defense, we've got some teams, the Bears, and I have some stats here. 37-point loss to the Ravens. The 1985 Bears allowed 38 points to the Dolphins. The 2000 Ravens allowed 36 points to the Jaguars. And so you have all these teams that had really great defenses that allowed 30-something points in a game. So we'll have to see if that's just a one-time occasion or this becomes a trend.
I mean, Jackson is really, I think, front runner right now as MVP, or at least he's definitely up there. He's 17 for 23, 163 yards, a touchdown, 61 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns. Brady throws almost 50 times. You really don't want Brady throwing 50 times, even if it is Brady. You don't want your quarterback having to throw 50 times. Wilson from the Seahawks is also that other front-runner candidate. I believe he was 378 yards and 5 touchdowns as they blow out. Well, not blow out, but they beat Tampa Bay. It was a pretty good games, and the Browns lose again.
The Browns are who they are.
We'll talk about them later in trash. NFL is here. We'll be back with picks. It's Mad Sports. It's David Hicks and Jerry Jones James.
Welcome to the Dallas Cowboys show. My partner over here is sleeping, still trying to recover from the game. Another win. We just let's pick them for this next week because this is Mad Sports, where we are experts. In fact, still sitting in second place among all experts on picks for this NFL season.
You know what? Speaking of picks, toss me up football real quick. Let's pick them. That was so corny. That's why I did it, because it looks like some BS you would have done. All right, let's go.
All right, first game, Thursday night's matchup. We have the Chargers at Raiders.
Nobody cares about those two teams. I'll go with the Raiders.
As did I.
Man,
Both
you
teams-
hear this? Every
teams-
week. Ever since I started picking good games, you're like, as did I.
Well, last week
Nobody even talks like that.
you
in
were on
real
a,
life.
on a streak until the
As
afternoon
did I.
games. Thought you were going to win something.
As did I. Now on football
Now on
theater.
to, NFL games back in the day.
Yeah.
Ravens at Bengals.
Dun, 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 dun. Ravens at Bengals. I'll take the Ravens. Duh. As did
Bills.
I. Is that what you picked? Yeah. Okay, next. Bills at who?
Bills at Browns.
Who?
Browns.
Yeah, we'll go with the
Cleveland.
Bills. As did I. Yes. Tally ho.
Lions at Bears.
I'll go. The Bears are such garbage right now, but so are the Lions. I'm going to go Lions because Stafford's not hurt yet.
As did I.
As did I. Wonderful. Yes.
Giants at Jets.
Two other. It's like this. What is this, trash week?
No, we have some matchups coming, but you should weed through the garbage first.
Well, I'm going to weed all the way and give it to the Giants.
My good man, as did I.
Did I as? Yes, I did.
Chiefs at Titans, and you're going to get another as did I.
I'm going Chiefs, as did I. That's as did I, James.
This might be our first.
It's his Amish brother, as did I.
Cardinals, Buccaneers.
Spit it out there. At Tampa Bay?
At Tampa Bay.
Let's go Tampa Bay.
Our first difference.
Oh, as did I not. It's his cousin.
Falcons at Saints.
Saints, as did I.
The Amish jokes, we just lost
Well,
four fans.
who we gonna? They're never gonna hear this, watch it, or what are they gonna do? Make me a fireplace?
Dolphins at Colts.
Colts.
Okay, I was about to say, I don't know why you're having difficulty on that pick. Rams at Steelers.
Steelers.
As did I. Panthers at Packers.
Ooh, this is tough, but you know what? The Panthers.
I know who you're picking.
The Panthers need this victory. The Packers are going to get this victory. But I'm still going to pick with Carolina because that's my team.
Because you're not a Packer this week.
No, but I'm sure you are. Did you pick the Packers?
I did pick the Packers.
Sure.
Vikings at Cowboys. I know who you're picking.
We're going with them Vikings. Come on now. All they do is pillage and plunder. We finna pillage and plunder all the way
I'll have to
into
bring Thor back next week.
Jerry
if
Jones.
We lose.
Yeah.
Be unfortunate.
I'm sure you got his secret private Avenger hotline phone number.
We're gonna need him in the game.
Yeah, because that defense from Minnesota is the truth.
All we have left is Monday night.
You picked Dallas, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Just making
What am I
sure.
wearing? This is not a
That doesn't
Vikings
mean
jersey.
anything. That doesn't mean anything. You
All
might have
about
gone
the
with
wins.
you might have gone with your brains this week.
I did.
Yeah.
Cowboys.
Okay. All right.
We're gonna see. This is where tide turns.
I'm gonna come in here on a ship and we're gonna plunder all of Mid County. Come on. Who we got? That's the Sunday night game?
That's Sunday night game.
Yeah, y'all just prime timing it up,
It
huh?
is.
They like horrible teams
When you're a
on
winner,
prime time right
they
now.
put you in the primetime slot.
Well, they must have made the
Haven't seen the
schedule
Panthers
20
in
years
a
ago.
primetime slot yet.
We were in London. It's prime morning.
Nobody saw that game.
Prime morning. People in London
People were
did.
sleeping.
There wasn't a Carolina jersey in that crowd.
They're all Cowboys
Right.
jerseys.
What is this football we're watching?
As did I.
Yes, as did I, James.
All right, Monday
Him
night.
and Sherlock Holmes have solved the mystery of the As Did I clan. Yes.
We're gonna
Go
move
ahead.
on
Let's
to
pick Monday night. I done made enough
This is a
races mad
This
today.
is a true test for those 49ers.
Amish, the Irish, the Vikings. Come on.
Seahawks at 49ers.
Oh, this is the game I actually want to see. This is I will actually watch
just
this
need
game
you to
unless
pick them
some
right
random
now.
NBA game
You
is
don't
on,
have
and
to.
then I'll probably watch that. Let's see. Flip a coin in my head. Heads is tails. Tails is heads. I'm gonna go Seahawks. Is it at Seattle?
Did you hit your head before you got
No,
there?
no, not at all. Is this at Seattle?
No, it's at the 49ers.
Well, we're going the 49ers then. No, we're going to go Seattle. What did you pick? How about that? Because
tell you when-
you tell me
you
who you
got
pick
both ways
first.
now.
Because
I'm
I always
going-
have to pick first.
I'm going
and then you
49ers.
copy me so you get.
I'm
I'll go
saying-
Seattle just to make the people at home, all four of y'all that are watching,
Either-
say which one we're doing better. So they can't say you stole all my picks.
Oh, you didn't, because you have the Panthers and Vikings and
And the as did I's.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers
Well,
losses.
okay, you say that now. I'll expect you to make a fireplace made out of real wood for me next week. That's our picks. I'm going to win. He's going to lose. We'll be back. Sports is David Hicks, and as did I, James, the Amish settler from Amish land.
Cowboys.
Yeah.
Hey, but before we get to trash, let's talk winners really quick on the power rankings for the NFL, because there's one interesting scenario at the top. We have San Francisco number 1, Saints number 2, Patriots number 3, Ravens number 4, then it's Packers, Seahawks, Cowboys, Chiefs. But What do you think about those Patriots being ranked still above the Ravens? I know they're a game ahead of them as far as schedule goes, but the Ravens beat them.
Well, honestly, I don't really care because this is my segment, and for some reason you want to bring up power rankings. If you want to talk about this during Richard Rants, that's cool. But the next time you know what? My first trash of the week is Mr. As Did I James, who wants to bring up power rankings in the middle of my segment instead of doing it at the end of the football segment. That's our first trash of the week.
Too much time
Really?
on the As Did I discussion.
Really? Power rankings? Oh, okay, bet. No, it's cool. No, it's cool. I can't even have my own segment anymore. Jeez. No, it's the same thing as bringing out the college football the first four with 7 weeks to go in the football season. It's the same thing as preseason polls before the basketball season. I think it doesn't matter. Power rankings, especially to me, don't matter because aren't those written by a bunch of ESPN writers and experts? We need to do power rankings. You know what? Next week, Mad Sports will put out their own power rankings according to who the teams we like. It's basically about the same. So next week, look for the Mad Sports real power rankings. I just think it's ridiculous. I've always hated power rankings. In fact, my second trash of the week is power rankings. What does it matter? It's a bunch of writers that put down. It's the same thing. We put that, and we'll add
writers who never played the game.
No, and we'll add pre-drafts. In the pre-draft, they're taking Edwards Scissorhands from the third round from Mississippi State. The Cowboys took him. No, they didn't because you just made that up. I'm on a roll tonight.
You are. I like it. Keep going. What else you got on that list?
The Bears, 3-5. Trubisky sucks. The defense sucks. Their first half versus the Eagles, they had, drum roll please, 9 total yards of offense. I had 9 total yards of offense at the mall today.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
that Black Cat had that in his.
They've lost 4 straight. Chicago is looking real ugly out there. Trash. The Jets, 1-7.
Hey, they beat a good team.
Miami gets off the trash pile because they finally got a victory, but it came against the Jets, 1-7. If you're tanking, it's working. The Redskins have stayed there, 1-8. They have not scored a touchdown in 3 straight games.
We're celebrating that in Cowboy Land.
They have not. There's no such thing as Cowboy Land. It's called Dallas, Texas. You act like it's a Six Flags theme park.
There's one nearby.
There is one nearby. Redskins, 1-8. They're out of here. Looking ridiculous. Tampa Bay, 2-6. Suck. They just.
Yes. But you picked them for this week's.
Because I got to pick somebody. There's so much. I should put this next week of games on the trash pile. 2-6 Tampa Bay. And I'm not blind this week, so these are buckets. I was tired of missing. I heard I missed a lot last week. It happens, but you see I've been healed.
I see.
It's been healed. It's Jesus.
Saw those Amish people.
Browns. First of all, the Browns make it just because they're the Browns. And this is Sports Illustrated. You go right along with this in the Browns that you had on your cover. But Baker Mayfield's facial hair is my next trash of the week. Bro, he
didn't
shaved.
want Minshew to be left
I
out.
thought it was no shave November, not shaved 3 times during a game. He had wardrobe changes like it was the Oscars, but he shaved his face. He had a beard before the game. He had a Manchu during the game, and I have little kid's Van mustache in the end of the game. Just saying, Baker Mayfield, whatever your name is.
The way they play, he probably felt like he played 3 games.
Trash. He looked like a homeless man was peddling penicillin from the back of a station wagon by the end of the game. It was looking very upset. The Giants. You couldn't beat the Cowboys. They were in the red zone 42 times in the first half, and they kicked a bunch of field goals and missed an extra point.
Woo!
22 turnovers this season. You had 19 all of last
Love it.
season. Trash. Let's get out of the NBA or the NFL for a second. Let's go to the NBA. This one is kind of funny, but the Warriors. Everybody's injured. Everybody's hurt.
We're tanking.
They're doing something because they're 2-5. I know it's early in the season, but right now the Warriors look like trash. The Rockets. They're not a trash team. Their defense is trash. But the first quarter versus Miami, it was 46-14. You have James Harden and Russell Westbrook, and you score 14 points in the first quarter and give up 46. That first quarter was trash. This next one is funny to me. The UFC. We watched the fights.
We did.
We don't talk a lot of UFC and MMA, but my last trash of the week is guys that think they're going to beat John Jones. Dana White, let's slow down the hype train on some of these young fighters that are going to beat John Jones, pretty much the steroid GOAT. Look, Johnny Walker, 6 whatever, chiseled, toned, been knocking dudes out, been starching dudes. Well, Mr. Light Heavyweight, Mr. I'm calling out John Jones, Mr. I'm all cocky in there. Corey Anderson put the brakes to your face, knocked you out cold. I guess you're not ready for John Jones. And as John Jones said, there can be only one. Well, in the Highlander of MMA, John Jones is that one. Johnny Walker, you are not it. And my last trash, just because I have this one's my last. Bonus trash. Anybody talking mess on me this week? Because I've had enough of haters. I've had enough of the Amish, and him downstairs, and all the rest of you guys that want to talk. Nothing but net. David's trash of the week. We're back, Mad Sports.
Moving to college.
I breathe now. I'm good.
We're good.
I think I got all I needed to out. Let's talk college football, or as I like to call it, the very irrelevant week, because there was no really relevant games last week.
Yeah,
there were a few.
Georgia, Florida was the only one because
and neither one of them are really in the race.
Georgia held on, so they maintained their 6th ranked spot. But what did happen tonight was the first time the
top 4 came out. It was top 25, but the top
25,
4 is
all
what
that
really matters.
Well, we could even go as far as the top 6 still being relevant.
Well, let's give it to the people.
Number 1, or should we start with 6? Let's start with 6.
Oh, start with 6 then.
Yeah, Georgia, since we mentioned them. 5 was Clemson, sitting right outside the top 4.
Which I think's funny, but go ahead.
Then 4 is Penn State. But their strength of schedule, they do have a better strength than Clemson did. 3, Alabama. That surprised me.
That surprised
2,
me.
LSU.
That surprised me.
That surprised me. And number 1, you can guess it, Ohio State.
Yeah, I would have put, I think 1 and 2 should have stayed Alabama, LSU.
I agree.
If for nothing else, then hello, college football. It's LSU, Alabama this Saturday. You can't leave it 1 and 2 for a week.
For a week, exactly. Hype the game.
You've never watched the WWE before? You're not taking a page out of Vince McMahon's book? You can't leave 1 and 2 alone?
Now we have 2 versus 3, underwhelming.
Yeah, like, it just, for real though.
It is.
Like, hello, you have LSU versus Alabama this week, and you can't go, hey guys, just for this week, keep it that way. Because it doesn't matter for 6 more weeks.
So we're going to use the AP poll where Alabama's number 1 and LSU's number 2, and we have a 1-2 matchup.
And that's the other thing, too. Yeah, we've got a top 4, but we still have 2 freaking polls.
Yes. Coaches poll, AP poll, and the college playoffs.
The Amish poll, the fans poll.
As did I.
Never mind. Go ahead. So,
but with this Alabama-LSU game,
both 8-0.
surprisingly, both teams have a Heisman candidate for quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Neither team has ever had a quarterback win the Heisman Trophy.
Oh, wow.
So that's an interesting matchup we have, and
Who do you think's taking it this weekend? Where's it at? Is it at Alabama?
it's at
right?
Alabama. Well,
That means a lot. Home field
Alabama
advantage in
has
college is a big
31
deal.
straight home wins. The only time that they did better was from 1963 and 1982. They had 57 straight home wins. Right now, they have the longest home active streak of any college team. That alone speaks volumes, and I'm
But they are
towards,
they are facing the toughest
they are. And
LSU
Tua's
team.
just getting back on the field.
Yeah.
He's had this injury before on the other ankle. It took him 4 weeks to recover. He's only 3 weeks off of recovery this time around, so a little quicker turnaround.
So you're going Alabama?
I'm leaning Alabama.
Now let's pick them.
My heart's with LSU.
Let's pick them.
I'm going to say Alabama
I'm going to say LSU.
takes the win.
Let's do it. I like
We'll
it.
do it. The thing with
And who's number one in the coaches? Ohio State, right?
no, that's a playoff.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
And Penn State's where again?
4.
4. So Penn State has a big game coming up with Minnesota.
They do.
They're both 8-0. Minnesota's undefeated. You wouldn't think Minnesota would be a scary thing, but they're undefeated, so that's a big game for Penn.
Undefeated.
Yeah, undefeated is undefeated, which SMU fell to Memphis and couldn't keep that undefeated thing going. Still is a great record for them as they lose in a shootout, basically, which no one cares about those two. I'm just saying as they had a good record going. So that LSU-Alabama game is the game everybody's going to watch.
Right.
But Penn State-Minnesota is going to be a big game when it comes down to that Final Four.
And going back to LSU, Alabama, they haven't figured out how to beat Nick Saban yet. So that's another point.
I mean, nobody has. Not
So-
consistently.
Well, LSU hasn't at all.
Yeah. So
It will be interesting.
it's the biggest game of the season
It is.
by far. I mean, we've had some big games this year just because of the teams like Texas, Oklahoma, but none of the stakes weren't
Right.
where they are right now.
And LSU does have Joe Brady, who's revamped their offensive. He's considered a hot 5-star prospect for a future coach. He's 30 years old. He's the next young.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Genius.
Does he stay after this year, or
I don't
does he
think
get
so.
snatched up?
Everyone's going to want him, and I think he's going to take the opportunity to either go to the NFL or take a head coach job.
Do you see him taking a head coach job in the NFL?
Dallas Cowboys? That's a joke. Sorry, Jason Garrett.
Didn't sound like. Hey, you go with your heart. You go with your heart. I'm just saying.
Go with the youngster. Go with the young genius.
Sounded like
It's worked for the Rams.
I'm just saying. Well, it was working. For
It
the
was
Rams.
working for the Rams. They picked up his playbook somewhere. But I think he does move on.
Or does he go college head coaching? And
More
what
than likely college, I would think.
So do you see him because the Florida State job's open? To me, Florida State's a great school
I
to go
agree.
to because of not only the storied program, but you've got all that talent in Florida to pick from. I mean, places like Texas and Florida, when you've got talent to just pick straight from the high school and just, hey, come on, drive on over. We're going to recruit you now. And then, of course, Florida State's pedigree as being Florida State. I mean, you got to remember when Florida State was on top of the world for 10 years.
Right.
I mean, it's only been this last decade that it's now Alabama. It seems like some of these teams get 10 years runs.
Unless you're Alabama.
Unless you're Alabama, exactly. But, Florida State was on top for so long
They
in
were,
those Bowden
and then
years, except for all those wide rights. But they were still there every year.
Exactly.
Every year.
Well, there's one other game that I took interest to.
If you say Hawaii versus Southern such and
We already
such, I'm
covered
going to
Hawaii
be pissed
in a
off.
week.
Like, don't mention some
Number 15, Notre Dame.
ITT Tech
Versus-
School of the Blind
Versus a school that may sound like that.
Okay,
We
come
just watched Duke take down Kansas in the basketball.
Okay.
Now Notre Dame plays their football team this weekend, number 15. Now you may think offhand blowout, but Duke, believe it or not, beat Notre Dame in 2016, 38-35, when Daniel Jones of the Giants was their QB. And Duke has a strong defensive front.
This is 2 weeks in a
Notre
row
Dame
you've
lost their
or
right
two
tackle.
shows you've mentioned Duke football, by
I have.
the way.
It's been surprisingly good.
All over the nation, people are going, who?
Exactly.
Nobody.
Take
This
note.
is the most coverage Duke football has gotten besides in Durham. Is on Mad Sports.
Exactly.
You're welcome, Duke football
Quentin
fans.
Harris, the quarterback, is running all over people. 408 rush yards. He's second in rushing on his team. 19 TDs, 6 of them rushing TDs. I mean, Duke stands a chance to beat Notre Dame.
I hope they
this
do,
weekend.
but I am the biggest Duke fan in the world, basketball. And we beat we, as in we, I grew up 30 minutes from campus, so I say we. We beat Kansas rock chalk tonight
Yes.
in the Coaches Classic because we film on Tuesdays. We beat them. Great game.
Low scoring.
Who cares? Win is a win, as you always like to put it,
Exactly.
Jerry Jones James. Once basketball season starts,
Yeah. Well, nobody's going to talk Duke
nobody
football.
in Durham even cares
Exactly.
about
But
nobody.
this weekend, they have number 15 Notre Dame.
And
so
when
it's
they
a-
win,
Yeah, that's-
it's not even going to be mentioned except for in Notre Dame and
on
maybe
Mad Sports.
And on Mad Sports. Look, we'll be back. We're going to talk a little NBA when we come back. Big games in college football. We'll be right back. Mad Sports, we're back. We're talking NBA. Last segment of the show. I know it's early in the season, but you know I'm a big basketball fan.
Yes, you are.
And baseball is done. Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah. And with baseball, it's like, I have no idea what's going on. Then with the World Series, we hang on every pitch like we're some type of baseball
Every
expert.
pitch. And it was fun to
It's
watch,
fun,
but
yeah. Well,
the wrong team won if you're in the Houston area. So
that's okay.
So we move on.
We move on. I'm getting caught up on basketball. When they stop wearing high tops? Oh, sorry. I'm still back.
I
in the
forgot you're
Jordan,
Amish.
The Jordan
and
era.
you
and
haven't
the short
watched.
shorts.
You just now got
When did that
TV like
happen?
3 years ago.
Short shorts and
So-
low cut shoes.
It's early, of course, in the season. I like to break down basketball games into 10-game
I
segments.
think you left your car running.
Yeah, that was. I'm sorry, I had a little gas tonight. So far, the teams coming out of the gate hot: Clippers, Lakers, a surprising Miami team. Philadelphia looks strong in the East at 5-1. Houston's 4-3, the local team, but their 4-3 has looked very suspect because of their defense.
Yeah, their defense
It's
is
like
atrocious.
120 to 1. I
Yeah.
mean, it's crazy.
They're 29th in the league in defense, but here's an interesting aspect that
Tidbit, as they would
tidbit
say.
exactly. Russell Westbrook has increased the pace of the offense from ranking 27th last season to first.
They are so quick up and
Thank
down
you,
the floor.
James Harden. That isolation play grinding the Rockets to a halt last season, but they average 109.2 possessions per 48 minutes. That's more than 10 extra possessions over last season.
Well,
And they lead the league in the shortest possession time, 14.3 seconds. You realize no team has ever had less than 15 seconds.
they're
per
super
possession.
fun to watch.
So they are fast.
The
paced.
problem is it's a D'Antoni team, and that style of play doesn't win in the playoffs, and he hasn't yet. And he's had great teams in the past. Now, barring an injury, which we could say for every team every year,
Golden State.
they probably beat Golden State that year if Chris Paul doesn't get hurt.
Right.
They had him on the ropes.
They did.
But you can't say if, when, shoulda, coulda. That's what happened. Some standouts. The team I said to look for in the very beginning are showing exactly why. Dallas Mavericks are 4-2. Luka Doncic is averaging 26.7 points a game, 9.5 assists. He's shooting 35% from the three-point line, and he's got 10.3 rebounds a game. He's almost averaging a triple-double, and he's 20 freaking years old. In the next 5 years, and this is giving him plenty of time, I believe he will be one of the top 3 players in the league, if not
Better than Zion?
I think so.
Right.
He's
He's more durable.
Well, he's got a more complete package. He's got handles. He's got a shot. He's got eyes in the back of his head. Luka is the truth. He's been playing pro ball since he was 13 at some point over in Europe because they have to feed their family at an early age. Luka is a ball player, man. He is so nice with the rock. Watching him is very exciting.
Put him on your to-watch list. Mad Sports.
Yeah, you've got to watch the Mavericks. They are for real this year. Harden right now is averaging 36.6 points per game, but he is shooting 35% from the three-point land and like under 40% from the field. He's shooting just horrible right now.
Why their pace is so fast.
He's got
just throw it up from midcourt.
He's averaging 5.7 turnovers a game. He's got to get that under control. Yeah, the scoring's awesome, but their defense, when they're scoring 128, the other team's scoring 132, the defense isn't there. Westbrook, as you said, he's almost averaging a triple-double, 21 points a game, 9 assists per game, 9 rebounds a game. He'll probably average another triple-double. The Lakers are for real.
They are. I agree.
All the doubts about them, I think, are gone. LeBron looks rested. LeBron looks healthy. And LeBron's averaging 25 points, 8 boards, and 11 assists. Anthony Davis, 28 points, 11 rebounds.
And they have no Golden State to contend with.
No Golden State to contend with. And then their bright spot in his resurgence, Dwight, I got a bad problem in my anus, Howard. At least that's what his name was last week. I love him, but, he had the little tailbone injury,
right.
Whatever it was.
Those are painful.
6.8 points off the bench, 8.2 rebounds, and 2.3 blocks, and he's shooting 80% from the field.
Yeah, all those
They're all done.
washed up.
They're all done.
Yeah.
He looks healthy. He looks like he's got something to prove. And he's going to end up, I believe, soon take that starting position from JaVale McGee because he's balling right now.
He's the best sixth man in basketball.
Clippers are for real. Kawhi Leonard, what can you say? But 29.3 points, 7 boards, 5 assists. But the one thing I must say about Kawhi, and I don't understand this with NBA players, load management. He's already set 2 games for load management. Now, if I didn't know any better, I'd think that was a bathroom term.
It's because they played 342 games a season.
Load management. I'll be right back. I got to go load manage. Bro, load management? You're like 20.
He's a young athlete.
You're a young load management?
You play basketball every night if you could.
I load manage all the time. 40 years old with lupus. I got to load manage my jump shot. Load management, we went to a Rockets game last week, and Chris Paul was on load management. So we didn't get to see Chris Paul play. I get it, you rest him, but toward the end of the season, we just started the season. I don't get that. But the NBA is back, and it has been a lot of fun, a lot of good games. Those are some of the players to watch for. We'll be right back with Richard Rants. It's Richard's Rants. Go.
Look out. We're going to keep this short this week. I had a topic I was going to talk about, but because of the fights we watched this weekend, I wanted to just rant
UFC. There were some good ones.
There were some good ones. I'm going to focus on one fight. We've got Masvidal. Masvidal.
Gotcha.
However you say it, doesn't matter.
Oh, I'd pronounce his name right if I was you. You don't want to meet him in the streets.
Sitting there calling out Canelo. Did you see that?
I did not.
Calling him out. This is one of those stay in your lane moments.
Stay in your lane.
He had his press conference afterward,
a
little bit later actually, it's a different show, and says he was ready to fight Canelo anytime, anywhere, he'll take the fight. And he thinks he's got a surprise for him. He respected Canelo's skill. He admitted.
You got to.
4 belts, 4 different divisions. I mean, best boxer there is currently.
Yeah.
But he said Canelo would not be ready for what he would bring to the fight, his length, his reach.
In a boxing match?
In a boxing match.
Okay, because if it was MMA.
No, he's talking about stepping in the boxing ring to take him. What it comes down to, and this is where everyone that says boxing's done, it's over. I agree. MMA, it's a lot more fun to watch. It is this generation sport. boxing is your father's sport.
And they've taken over as fight game.
As far as the fight goes, but not the purse yet.
No,
this is why
not
all
even.
of you MMA guys that talk about boxing's gone, this is why you want to fight.
Yeah.
Because you want that money. And that's exactly what Masvidal is saying.
He wants that
wants
Conor
the purse.
McGregor
He
spotlight
goes,
purse.
You put the check down, I'm there.
Yep.
I will fight because the fighters get paid so much more. You want to know what John Jones got for his title defense?
Couple bucks.
Exactly.
Compared to any pro fighter.
Compared to
go
any
ahead.
pro fighter, he got $500,000 to defend his title against Santos. You know how much
In a title match.
in a title match? You know how much Canelo's made this year? $94 million. So you go on MMA, keep preaching about how much greater you are.
He made
You know where the-
$500,000 a punch.
Exactly. You know where the money is? It's in boxing. So you can just step down and respect boxing. It still has a long history, just like baseball's still around.
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere. You
Not
may
going
love
anywhere.
the NFL.
That's right.
But yeah, take a step back. The WWE, that other
Oh, yeah.
fighting
Yeah.
sport,
Entertainment. Yeah.
entertainment, well, they're number one. They outdo even boxing. So
Because they're in the billions.
Yes.
Billions.
So Masvidal,
Would be better off if he'd go
if you
WWE.
go WWE, go ahead.
It worked
Ask to
for
step
Cain
in the
Velasquez.
ring. It did. So there you have it. That's my rant.
That's a quick and short and good rant.
Thank you.
Jorge, I'm sorry for whatever he said. If you need to reach him, it's at Richard, Jesse James,
I'm
Jared
right here.
Jones, Hicks.
You got to come through David before you get to me, though.
Yeah, and I'm going to do like this. It's mad sports.